Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Glow Beyond podcast. And today we have a very esteemed guest. So everybody meet Chiara. Chiara is a long-term friend of mine. It feels very long because I think we have known each other for a very long time. But we know of each other online first when I found her. I don't know whether you found me or I found you, but we were actually basically advocating for psoriasis on social media. And at that point of time, you don't really find a lot of Asian faces advocating for skin condition, and that's why we connected. And at that point of time, you were also studying in Malaysia, so that's how we kind of met. Is that right?
Sort of, but at the end we really connected because I asked you if I can bring Safe Space to Indonesia.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we had a call online.
Oh, that's how everything started. Okay,
Yes.
okay, nice. So, I honestly feel very honored to have Chiara here because when she shares her story on social media, it's always very powerful. And today we are going to get to know her on a deeper level. So maybe you can start with, okay, first and foremost, how are you feeling?
A bit nervous.
I don't know why. I'm also a bit nervous. I don't know why also. For some reason, I've been doing this for maybe like a few months. But today, it just seems like, it just feels very special to me. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. Hi everyone, my name is Chiara Lenal Salim. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia, but I'm currently living in Tallinn, Estonia. It's in Europe. It's one of the Baltics country. So as Rocky said, advocate for psoriasis and also for chronic illness. I'm building Psoriasis Indonesia. It's our online platform community. We really value the power of knowledge and educations first and foremost, and then to give the safe space for people with psoriasis in Indonesia. Other than that, I'm also an IFPA ambassador together along with Rocky. We're a global psoriasis ambassador. And as a full-time job, I work as a growth analyst in a ride-hailing company in the Europe. Yeah.
You're doing a lot, girl.
Need to make money, bro.
Not just that, you're also advocating for people with psoriasis
Yeah,
in Indonesia. Indonesia is huge.
it is.
And it's not easy to gather people as well. And right now, your online community has around
More than
15,000?
that. 17,000.
17,000.
Yes.
It's growing very
It's
fast.
growing very.
And it's growing organically, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you know you're doing something right. You're reaching out to people and, reaching out to people with stories and with knowledge, which is something that we need
Yeah.
actually for advocacy. So let's talk a little bit about your journey with psoriasis, shall we?
Yes.
It's a lot to talk about.
Where do you want to start?
So you have psoriasis since the age of?
9 years old. Back in 2008.
Same. Psoriasis hit me when I was 9 too.
Yeah.
Damn it. So you had psoriasis in school. So what I know is that your psoriasis, when it hit you, it was very serious.
Yes.
So maybe you can bring us through the journey.
So I started having psoriasis when I was back in third grade in school. So I fell off a bike and I had a scratch on my legs. Normally it would just heal after a few days, right? But this didn't. So it just keep on evolving, and then we went to the doctors. Every week it's a different diagnosis, it's a different medications, and they're just getting worse and worse, and then just started spreading off. So at that point in time, it already spread it throughout my body, and my mom asked the doctor then, it's like, could this be psoriasis? Because my father's older brother has psoriasis, and we know that as an autoimmune condition, it has a genetic factors. Only then the doctor was like, oh yeah, maybe it is. So
Okay.
that was the start of my diagnosis journey. Afterward, we changed doctors, and then also didn't get the certainty if this was psoriasis or eczema and those kinds of things. So I'm privileged enough for my parents to be able to brought me then to Singapore. We met two different doctors and both of them just straight confirmed yes, and yes, this is psoriasis. And at that point in time, it was already a pretty severe condition of psoriasis.
Did you have erythrodermic psoriasis when it hit you back then? Or it was just a very severe form of
Plaque
plaque
psoriasis. Yes. I don't think it was erythrodermic yet. Yeah.
So you were only 9 years old.
Yes.
And you were already traveling to other country just to seek a diagnosis.
Yes. We even had like a monthly day trip to go back and forth to the doctor because it was just it's severe enough to the point that I needed to take oral medications already, starting 9 years old. Yes.
I think there's a difference between my case and your case. My case started with gutted psoriasis, just like a small dots. And then eventually over the years, it developed into plaque psoriasis. Whereas for you, when the symptoms started, it's just straight away like
All over.
exploded all over your
Scalp,
body.
nails, body, the whole
It must have been a very scary experience.
inverse.
And inverse psoriasis as
Inverse,
well.
Yes.
Scary. It sounds very scary.
As a kid, I didn't really know what was going on. I couldn't really process what's going on. The only thing that I know is just my life changed. Like my routine changed, and then I had a lot of medications that I need to apply. Every morning I needed to wake up 1 hour earlier, like 5 a.m., to shower, put lotions, put cream one by one. I had a different cream for my face, for my inverse psoriasis, for my body, for my scalp. And then I realized that I look different from the people around my age. Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Like, because your world just changed overnight,
Yeah.
and then you didn't even know how to process
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
How was it in school for you? Because you were only 9 years old. How was it for you in school?
At the beginning, I would just tell them that Chiara is having an allergic reaction. That's why I have all of this sort of skin lesions, red patches, because I couldn't fully cover it up, right? With uniform, I would wear jackets, I would pull my socks up high every day, but it just kept falling down. But so I would just tell that it's allergic. After 1 year, on my 10th birthday, I had a birthday celebration, and in the goodie bag, we wrote a letter saying sorry to my friends that I've been lying to them all this time. And actually, Chiara has psoriasis. So my parents made this happen. So what is psoriasis? We're explaining to them that psoriasis is an autoimmune condition. It's not contagious and everything. So my parents made the people around me in school understand that I have psoriasis and this is not contagious. Of course, kids still make fun of it in a way that it's just fun to joke around about it.
Yeah.
But at the very least, that makes them understand and the most important one, that they don't need to be scared of me because this is not contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to applaud your parents,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Your parents did an amazing job in,
Yes.
bridging the understanding between the patients ourselves and
Yes.
also our community. And it is such a cute approach where, it's a little note.
Yeah.
By the way, Chiara doesn't have allergy, but
Yeah.
Chiara actually has
Has
psoriasis. And because of that, the community around you know
Yes.
what psoriasis is, and they know it's not contagious. And that actually created the safety for you
Yeah.
to be yourself.
Yeah.
So,
That doesn't take away the shame of having it, but that takes away the burden of needing to hide it from other people or to lie to other people.
you couldn't hide also, right? Because it's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which makes it so much easier for you.
Yeah.
Amazing. I always think that parenting is already very hard, very, very difficult, right? But parenting a child with, a skin condition is even harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that I can talk to your parents one day on a podcast.
Yes.
I actually invited
My dad.
yes, your dad before.
He's very shy.
Yes, but he's very shy, which I respected.
Camera shy.
That. Yes, which I
He's like-
respected. That. So we're not gonna pursue it until that, when
We need to train him first.
when psoriasis came into your life, you're only 9.
Yeah.
So as you go through the teenage phase,
Yes.
I'm curious, how was it for you?
That was probably the darkest part of it because you started to like girls and boys, and then you started to celebrate like sweet 17, sweet 16 birthday. You started wanting to dress up, you're going through puberty, and then I just looked very different in a bad way. So I felt very ugly and undeserving with all of this condition that I have, because psoriasis has just been a constant in my life. It has never really ever fully go away. And so it was very hard to just go out to birthday celebrations, because at certain points I would just like, I'm not going to go because I don't know what I would want to wear. Because I don't feel good just to, if I want to wear a dress, I need to wear stockings, but it looks very fake because it's not just, I need to wear the thick kind of stockings to cover it up. Or if I want to wear a dress, I need to think about cardigans, but not all dress fit cardigans and those kind of things. Even at one point, I wasn't allowed to try on clothes at the mall because they were scared that I'm contagious. So it was just living in a bubble. Like, I know that my friends in school understand that this is psoriasis, but the people out there doesn't. Yeah. So when my sister actively going out to socialize, let's say to the temple and Buddhist organizations, she would ask me to come. I just never wanted to come, because that means meeting new people who doesn't understand what is psoriasis. And since it's very visible, I just didn't have any confidence with how I look, with who I am, and I just live day by day, literally as a victim in a survival mode, because I was just trapped in a lot of darkness within me, because I have this psoriasis and I live with this pain. There was at one point I didn't want to go to school. I was just like, this is just too much. I can't do this anymore. My mom suggested me to just, okay, what if we go to the school with leggings on instead of skirt? But we don't want to be different, right? The point of all of this is we don't want to be different.
We want
if
them to fit in.
Yeah. If I wear leggings, it's even more obvious that I'm different. Because I'm like, I'm not wearing skirt. Like, I'm supposed to wear a skirt. So it was just trying to survive day by day, until to the point that when other people have dreams, when other people know what they want to be when they grow up, they would start thinking, oh, I want to go to this university, I want to do this, I want to pursue this kind of career, this is the course I want to take. None of that ever come to mind, because I was just busy drowning myself in distractions just so that I can escape from the pain.
Sis, that was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot for a teenager to go through.
Yeah.
And when you share your story, I can relate. But I don't think that I went through that with the intensity that you went through, actually. And at such a young age.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry you had to go through that.
See, she started already. She always makes me cry, guys.
I always make people cry.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. But putting myself in your shoe, you had no way out. It feels like you had no way out. And that your life was literally taken away from you overnight.
Yeah.
You didn't know what's going on. It's extremely traumatic.
Yeah.
And there was nobody that could help you also at that point of time.
Yeah. But I guess because I also had it at such a young age, it at the same time it took away a lot of grief, because I didn't know what I lost. When people get it, let's say at the 17,
Yeah.
they were living a normal life as a teenager,
Yes.
and then their life suddenly changed.
Yeah.
So they know what they lost.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I lost. That was just my normal since I was a kid.
Okay, I guess if you want to be really optimistic,
Yeah.
you know, we can really talk about that, right? Like, I didn't know what I lost,
Yeah.
but as you grew up, you observe what other people life look like. That's when you kind of started to compare the differences between your life and other people's lives. Is that right?
This is where my parents' way of teaching also comes in.
Can you share with us?
They never see psoriasis as a burden in my life. They always put it in a way that, okay, this happened, but there has to have meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So it has always been framed in a positive way. Even when I joined like a World Psoriasis Day campaign when I was in junior high school, there was a photo shoot, there was a photo exhibition in the mall, and we needed to put like a quote from me. You know what we wrote?
Yes.
Psoriasis is not a burden but a privilege.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
At junior high school.
Your parents are so wise, actually.
Yeah. I'm really glad that they put the effort and they're willing to grow with me
Yeah.
to handle this. Because this is also something new and something foreign for them.
Yes.
But they're willing to learn and they're willing to grow
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
It just seems to me that growing up, your parents has really successfully created a safe space for you to grow, to navigate this, to figure things out together instead of needing to be the person who fix you,
Yeah.
who repair you,
Yeah.
or to make you feel like other people.
Yeah.
And that is so healing,
Yeah.
actually, because it's telling you that, you know what, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yes, this is out of the norm,
Yeah.
but we are going to figure things out together.
Yeah. They are the one who planted seed in me, even though back then I couldn't realize it. I don't know how to fully see what they mean. But when they keep on repeating the point, it just becomes like psoriasis is not something to take you down. It can be something that empowers me, that can add value into my life. And that over time, after I'm ready to realize it, when I reach like young adult, I become that person who let psoriasis empowers me. But I couldn't realize that was because of my parents until I did a lot of reflections and everything. Where does all of this come from, right? Just looking back, it comes from my parents. Yeah.
To Chiara parents, Auntie and Uncle Salim, thank you so much. Honestly, Chiara is such a treasure to the community, and the work that she is doing is so important for the community in Indonesia and actually beyond that. And I'm just so grateful to have you as a partner in this advocacy journey.
Likewise.
Then, with psoriasis and everything,
Yes.
you moved abroad for your studies.
Yes.
How was that for you?
So I went to international school. Studying abroad has always been the plan. It's more towards like my dad's dream to study abroad, but he couldn't when he was younger. So his aim was to send his daughters to go study abroad. My sister went to study in Hong Kong. She went earlier than me, and so afterwards it was my turn, right? I was 16 years old at that time after I finished my IGCSE, and then I didn't want to continue into A level, so I just like, okay, let's just continue with college and everything. Just so happened that the choice was Malaysia. It's also nearby home, so if anything happens, it's easier to just go back and forth. I was so anxious though to move abroad that I really wanted to be on remission, because I'll be meeting new people, I'll be in a new environment, in a new country, I'll be living there abroad alone. And university is not like school where you have the fixed classmates every day in your class that you can just share a letter with that, hey, this is psoriasis. It's a different, you meet different people every day, so it's like a different ball game.
And you need to choose what to wear every day.
Yes, yes. So I got so stressed about it until it backfired. I just flared up really badly. It was erythrodermic psoriasis.
Was that the first time you having erythrodermic psoriasis?
No, I had it back in junior high school for a couple of times though.
Okay.
So my parents went with me for 1 week to accompany me to move to Malaysia. And at that 1 week, it was just, my psoriasis was just so bad. I could barely stand up because it gets really swollen because of all of the inflammation.
Yeah.
And I was, on top of it, it's like really scared to be there and everything. I still remember I was just staying in a hotel room. I was just busily crying while my parents went out to buy stuff for my apartment. My family back home insisted for me to just go back home. To just give up. Why are you moving so far away from home when you are sick? When you have all this situation and illness with no one to take care of you. But at that point, it was like, I expected you to support me instead of trying to bring me down. My parents just say it's my choice. Orientation hasn't started yet. We can still go back home. It's my choice to go big or go home. And from a girl who didn't even dare to dream, that was the first time I had something that I want to do for myself. My sister can live abroad on her own. My friends can go and study abroad on her own. Why can't I? Why do I always have to allow psoriasis to limit my life? So I decided to stay. Even though I cried every day, I was in pain every day, showering, just taking off clothes and everything was just very painful. But I stayed. And I graduated.
And you graduated with excellence.
Yeah, and on time, within 3 years.
So crazy. You're crazy, you know. Was it hard to choose to stay in Malaysia? Was it hard to make that decision?
No.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
You were scared, but you knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
And you stood by your choice.
Going home wasn't a choice. At all. I just needed to stay. And face it.
I'm so proud of you. You're so crazy. So actually that was the time where you actually planted a seed of having more dreams.
It was the beginning of me choosing my life. The
Nice.
first time I choose my life.
Nice. It's very beautiful when a person who's sick, right? Because when you're sick, you would actually naturally feel very helpless and hopeless.
Yeah.
And at this point, it is actually very difficult for a person like that, like us, to actually have dreams. Because when we have dreams, we need to pursue it.
Yeah.
We need to believe that we can actually pursue it.
Yeah.
And at that point of time, even though you were so afraid, you actually chose to believe that you have what it takes to pursue your life.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're speechless, right? I think you can only say
I
nice.
honestly I don't know what to say because I'm just very in awe with your courage.
Yeah.
Yes, I know I have it in me too. But seeing it in another person, it just hits different. I'm just speechless lah, basically.
Because at that point, I had enough of allowing my life to get limited because of psoriasis. I didn't join any organizations, any extracurriculars, because like, oh, later I get too tired and I'll flare up. Or later I need to meet new people. It's like at some point it's just like, then when do I get to live?
Yeah.
That was the first time that I start to realize
Yes.
that I have to choose.
Yeah. When you say that, actually, apart from courage, there was also a lot of anger. Because I can relate totally. Like, so angry this condition took so much from us. And now, enough is enough. I am going to dictate how my life is going to turn out from here onwards.
Yeah.
And to exert this courage and this control over your lives is never easy.
Yes. I think what I need to point out also, it was not just a one turning point. It's a series of process. That was the first decision, but afterwards that doesn't mean that I just keep making that kind of decision. So it keeps on progressing one by one step at a time, based on my capacity.
And until now, you're still chasing your dream.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your dream.
The first, like after university, after learning to choose life on my own, the thing that I always wanted to do, not in relation to my condition, is to experience living in Europe. It was just still, I don't know how to make it happen. I don't know when can I go, if it is even possible, that kind of thing. I was thinking, I need to find a master's scholarship, because that would be like the easiest way to move to Europe, right? I didn't even think about being able to find a job there or what. Life works in a mysterious way, in a surprising ways. I haven't fully worked on trying to get it. It was just a dream that I just kept within myself. So after university, I went back home. I started working in Indonesia, and then I got paralyzed. So aside from psoriasis, I also have this condition called transverse myelitis. Transverse myelitis is basically an inflammation in your spinal cord that affects the ability for our brain to send signals to our nerves in our body. So it depends on where the inflammation is in our spinal cord. That determines where is the nerve damage starts. So for me, I was paralyzed from my diaphragm onwards, below. So it affected my motoric function, my sensoric function, my bladder and bowel function. It started with this really burning, needle prickling pain on my spinal cord. And it just, within a few hours, I was just paralyzed. I couldn't move at all. I couldn't feel at all. There's no bowel or bladder function. It was just all gone like that. It was not my first time. Back in 2012, when I just finished 7th grade, I actually experienced this the first time. At that time, actually, the doctor was telling my parents, this virus or bacterial infection that causing the inflammation, because we didn't know yet what was causing it, we can make it go away, but your daughter will never walk again. The doctor straight told my parents that. So they rushed me to Singapore the next day. And there we got the treatment. They straight confirmed my diagnosis and everything. And then It's considered miraculously. Within 3 months, I was pretty much back to normal. So I learned how to walk again. I learned how to control my pee again. I learned how to run again, that kind of thing. But it was a very a miracle thing lah. The doctor called it like this is one of the miracle lah. Within 3 months, I was pretty much recovered, 100%. But the causes was unknown, so it was classified as idiopathic. Transverse myelitis is one of the rare diseases in the world. The chance for it to recur again was even rarer. So it has never occurred to us that it could happen again. And then suddenly 9 years later, and back in 2021, it happened again. And it was way worse. So 1/3 of the cases, they don't recover at all. 1/3 of the cases partially recover. 1/3 of the cases, they can recover fully. No one can promise which cases you will fall on, because medications really just help to lower down the inflammation, and then afterwards it's just up to your body to recover the nerve. And this time onwards, it was very, very slow compared to the first time. So I live in such uncertainty if I was going to be disabled for the rest of my life. At that point in time, I promised myself that if I get to live independently again, if I get to walk again, I'm gonna chase what I wanted in my life, which was to experience life in Europe. Within 6 months of my recovery journey, I could barely walk still, like less than 1 kilometer was still very hard. I could barely stand up from the ground. I still can barely stand up from the ground. But I got 2 opportunities to go to Europe. The first one was because we started being the IFPA Global Ambassador. They held our first meeting in Italy.
Yes, I was there.
Yes, you were there. At the same day, I got a message from my ex-colleague in LinkedIn. Apparently last year when he quit, he moved to Europe, to Estonia. He asked me if I want to try and join his team. I was like, call it manifesting, call it, I don't know, a gift from life, my good karma blossoms, whatever. Or maybe it's also because of my hard work all this while. But it was like, I have not started to look for anything to move to Europe. And then just life opens up. And I really wanted it so bad, even though I could still only 40% recovered. I couldn't live on my own yet. But I wanted so bad that I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to train to be able to just walk so I can go to and travel in Italy. Thankfully, my sister was able to come and come with me. And I'm going to make moving to Estonia happen. So I fought for it. Not just through the interview and everything, but in preparing myself, my body, my medical stuff. So I went to find connection here and there. I try to find if you have any recommendation doctor. I prepare all my medications. I prepare all my medical history and all those kind of sort of things, like all the contingency plan. All I care about is just, this is my chance. When I got that, it was more than just getting a chance to live in Europe. It was more on, I can still live my life. Yes. It was more on receiving the hope and the ability that I can still live my life. That I can still choose life.
Yeah.
And I'm not bounded. And I'm not going to be disabled for the rest of my life. Yeah. And I made it happen. I went to Italy I traveled around Italy with my sister. I moved to Estonia. I've been living there for 1.5 years. I'm still in recovery. I'm not yet 100%. Still probably like 70%. I still fight for it to this day. But I'm living my life.
I wanted to share, like, when I saw what you went through, right? With TM
Yeah.
on social media and stuff, like, I didn't know what to say also. Like, I wanted to say, I hope you get better, but nobody ever know that you will ever get better, right? And when I saw you in Italy, I kept telling her that you are a miracle because you are, right? I mean, your life is not just miracle, right? At the same time, it is such an impressive thing to witness when someone is constantly fighting for their life beyond what they are given, beyond their life's obstacles and struggles and challenges. And we are not just talking about psoriasis, we are talking about TM, transverse myelitis,
Yeah.
something that would really cause someone to be paralyzed. And you were actually paralyzed.
Yeah.
I just wanted to really come back to this moment where how do you fight being paralyzed? How do you fight it? It is something so out of your control, and yet with this sphere of being out of control, you did everything you could to be in control in your life so that you remain some autonomy, some ownership over your life, and that you refuse to let this condition rob you of everything.
I just love life too much. There's still a lot of things that I want to do in life that I still have to do in life. That this can't be the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a powerful thing to witness and to experience with you because, I mean, for the ones who are listening to this, right? So many of us limit ourselves in so many ways.
Yeah.
Even when we just have psoriasis, we limit ourselves from chasing our dreams, not wearing clothes that we want, not choosing the love and the relationships that we want, not choosing to fight for the life that we want for ourselves, and not even choosing to fight for the courage to envision how we want our life to turn out. And I want to tell you, this work is so important because if you have the courage to envision it and to fight for it, then you're allowing yourself to build a life beyond your condition.
Yes.
And that is when you know that this life is yours and you built it for yourself
Yeah.
and not for anyone else. It's actually just for yourself. And it's such a painful thing to witness that a lot of people actually do not have that. And that is why it is so important to have you on this podcast. We planned this podcast for months actually. And I told her that I really wanted you to share your story. And I even told her that it is going to be a very long episode. I don't mind it being 2 episodes because I just know how impactful your sharing is going to be.
Coming on to your point of like being able to choose our life, even though with our condition, right? One thing that really helps me is really the belief that life happens for you and not against you.
Yeah.
That the good and bad happens in your life to build you up. There's a meaning, there's a purpose behind it. Even though at that point in time when I was paralyzed, I was just like, what's the point of anymore? It's like, don't I have enough? Have I not been taught enough since I was a kid? But I believe that there's a meaning towards it. That this stuff happened not to bring me down, not to just kill my life, but there's a meaning behind it that I just need to find and fight for it. And there's a difference. I always say this. Don't just, when we read quotes, when we read wisdom words and whatever, don't just put it here, but put it here. Don't just digest it in your brain. Oh yeah, logically that makes sense. Yeah, I know it's true. but digest it in your heart. When you digest it in your heart, it becomes your life values. It becomes how you see your life. It becomes how you respond to what happens in your life.
Life is painful, actually, just
Yeah.
to be very honest.
Yeah.
Even if you have a condition or you don't have a condition, life is painful.
Yes.
A lot of people keep asking me, how do we give this pain a purpose?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, giving your pain a purpose is one of the most difficult things to do. But if you are courageous enough to fight for yourself, it is going to be the most beautiful journey that you're able to experience in your lifetime.
Yeah.
And I see that in you, and I myself am trying to live this way.
Yeah.
To have a companion like you is such an honor, honestly.
It's an honor for me too. You're like a big sister for me in this journey.
Yeah,
And you always create space for me.
likewise.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Chiara, your treatment journey must have been quite long too, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned that when you came to Malaysia for your studies, your condition was out of control basically.
Yep.
And at that point of time, you decided to embark on the journey with biologics.
Yes, on the second year of university.
So how was it for you?
So, biologic have always been on our radar for a few years then, but I wasn't eligible because I was underage. Also, at the same time, it's very expensive. So, in my mind, biologic has always been the last resort. It's like my condition is super duper bad, already at the end of the road, that I need to resort to biologics. After the first year of university, oral medications don't work anymore. Because my body have been taking it since I was 9 years old. Until like what, 18 years old that time? So my body just got resistant towards it. And the other choice next is biologics. And so my parents then decided, okay, then maybe it's time to try it out. Because all the doctors in Singapore and in Malaysia also, everyone asked me to try on biologics. And so we finally started the biologic journey. At the beginning, I was very defeated because I thought that was my last resort. And I was 18 years old when I went to my last resort. How the hell am I going to be for the rest of my life? And I needed to stay over at the hospital at that time to be able to get covered by insurance. But needing to stay in the hospital makes everything worse. Because it makes me feel like I'm truly really sick. At the end of the road, at the end of my road, like with all the hospital vibes. That was a point where I lost myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what's my life going to be like and everything. I was just lost. Fun fact, I don't like vegetables at all. I eat very unhealthily
It's very true.
since I was a kid. My diet is just all junk food. KFC, McDonald's, AW, Pizza Hut. I slowly grew to learn other food, but it's still not vegetables and fruits. But at that point, because I was like, this is big. So I needed to do something about this. And I'm someone who is driven from internal motivation. So when my parents tried to bribe me with money, yeah, you eat this, I give you money, but it won't work. It didn't work. My sister, Mickey was like, just pay me, I'll eat it. I'm like, no, this is okay. But at that time, finally had the internal motivation to like, okay, I need to change this. So I started to willingly try and eat vegetables. Every day I would put some vegetables in my meal. I eat fruits every day. It was like suddenly I started caring more about my life and my diet. It's still an ongoing progress, but it's a progress.
It's a progress.
It's a progress. And then so that begins my biologic journey. For the first time in my life with psoriasis, I live as a normal person. I was fully cleared, scalp, even nails. I don't need to worry about can I wear my hair up today or not. I don't need to worry if I need to wear a cap today because my scalp psoriasis is just so bad, the dandruffs. I can wear short pants. I can wear skirts. The first time I wear skirts outside, I felt naked because I could feel the wind on my legs.
I totally relate.
It was damn funny. But it was just like, that was the first time in my life I live as a normal person. I was able to do other things. I have room for other things in my life because I no longer live in pain 24/7. I was supposed to be fully happy, right?
Yeah.
But after a while, coming towards the end of university, I really wanted to try to get off biologics because it's just so expensive. And I felt bad about it. I always felt about how much my parents needed to pay to give me treatment.
Yeah.
So at that point, started seeing your journey, other people's journey online on holistic healing, on they were able to just not be on medications and everything. So I was just like, I should try. After university, that should be an ideal time for me to be able to try to get off biologics and change my lifestyle and everything. But at the same time, I also remember vividly how much pain it was
Yeah.
when I was flaring up.
Yes.
Because I also got psoriatic arthritis. So going towards the end of university, added on with the choice of like, do I want to stay in Malaysia? Do I want to go back home? What career I want to pursue? Because I actually wanted to become a makeup artist first. Is it now then? Should I take a makeup course now? Or should I pursue my career in computer science? On top of it is this unsettled feeling of like, I'm scared to get off biologics because I'm scared to feel that pain again. It comes to the point where I just feel very unsettled every day. Like there's this something in the pit of my stomach every day. There's just like, I just live in fear. I live in anxiousness. I live very unpeacefully. That I decided, okay, I need help. I need to do something about this. So still being in uni, I went to a school counselor. We talked about psoriasis, about career. And that's where I started learning about inner child. We did some inner child exercises. I reconnected with my inner child, and basically what she needed was that acceptance. That's when I finally able to accept that I have not accepted psoriasis in my life. I may have been very outspoken about it because it's a habit that my parents built. But that turns out that doesn't mean that I accepted psoriasis in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's what came out of it. So I was just like, okay, I need help to be able to accept this. Because I can't live like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took the leap of faith to sign up for a 7 days meditation camp. It's a health meditation. It's called Bali Usada. So it's based in Bali, but they have several camps in Jakarta and other cities. I just took the leap of faith to join that because of after hearing certain stories, and I felt like I was just so desperate to find peace. My parents were like, "You never even do meditation at home. How are you gonna do 7 days meditation?" It was just like, but I was just at the point where I was just so desperate. I can't live any longer like this.
Yeah. I also just want to kind of like recall your journey. Psoriasis came to your life at the age of 9.
Yeah.
Very abruptly, right?
Yes.
And the condition was very severe.
Yes.
And then after that, you chose to chase your dream of studying abroad.
Yeah.
And at a point of time, erythrodermic psoriasis hit you
Yeah.
very severely as
Yeah.
well. And over the course of these so many years,
Yeah.
you didn't really have any support emotionally and mentally to handle the trauma, to handle the abrupt changes that happen in your life. It can be a very scary experience for a child and a young adult to go through, which is why, which kind of explain why you
Yeah.
felt that unsettled
Yes.
feelings and also being in conflict and at war with yourself.
Yeah.
And also to not being able to feel peaceful with yourself.
Yes.
I would also like to say that, to anyone who's listening to this, I think it's time for us to normalize
Yes.
this conversation. Like, a skin condition is beyond, way beyond just skin.
Yeah.
It is not just dealing with the discomfort physically. It is very, very much also dealing with hating yourself, rejecting yourself, being at war with yourself,
Yeah.
and not being able to achieve the peace that we all should have with ourselves. Which is why the experience that Chiara is going to share is going to impact so many people. And let's continue.